So now that two of you guys have already had kids, Bart and Banos.
You got one on the way.
You got one on the way as well, just much more distance.
Still in the balls, but it's coming. It's coming out. It's coming out soon.
Coming out to a theater near you.
It's still got to come out of you first. Is there like a way that you can, do you feel like you could have been genuinely happy in your life if you never had kids?
What do you mean? Like knowing what it feels like?
Now that you know what it feels like, yeah. Could you have seen yourself as Bart Kwan, guy who never had kids and still live a fulfilling life all the way to the end?
No, I don't think so. How do you feel about that?
Heck no. No way.
It's one of those where like if you haven't experienced it, you're not going to know what you're missing out on. But if you experienced it, it's like then you know there's like, because like after you have a kid, it's not only just the act of having a kid, you grow so much as a person and evolve, and their kid teaches you so much. And there's like this crazy, like, I don't know, dynamic change that it'll feel way emptier had you not had a kid.
I think because right now I'm kind of going through that with myself, where I used to be very like, it doesn't matter if we have kids or not. I don't really care. I think like that's a great bonus if we were to have kids. That's great. Like I've always felt like that my whole life up until this year. And now I'm like, now that it's gotten very real. Like there's a kid on the way. There's a new human that we're making.
You feel the tummy moving and stuff or no?
My tummy? Oh, Smack, come here. Yeah, no, yeah, it feels very real. But now that like that that feeling's kind of setting in, it feels like, oh, this is a very, to me, okay, I don't mean to pressure anyone, but it feels like almost like a required and necessary development in human existence. Yeah. It's like it's so deepened in me now that I'm like, if I didn't do this, it's like living life up to a point and never knowing anything else. Like, you know what I mean?
It's Jordan Peterson saying like you're still a child until you have a kid.
Yeah.
Because your whole life you're living for yourself.
Right.
Until you have to live for someone else, then you finally experience like the next chapter.
Yeah, now I can't even imagine that I ever even felt like maybe I won't have a kid. I can't even imagine that now. And my kids aren't even born yet.
Yeah. I think that it's possible to reach happiness without having kids. It's just that there's this untapped potential of this other side of happiness when you do have kids.
Yeah.
So I don't think you're like... I don't think people who don't have kids are unhappy or...
You just have to require so much. So like the amount of happiness I have with my kid, to reach that without having a kid, I would need like 100 prostitutes a day. Then I think it would be like equal.
You shouldn't put prostitutes and your kid on the same level.
Yeah, seriously.
1,000 prostitutes, and then...
Joe's trying to talk sense into you.
Yeah. And then I have free Bacchanal vouchers.
A buffet is more better.
So Bacchanal vouchers, and then business class everywhere I go, even from Vegas to LA at business class, and then prostitutes,
still,
and then Ferrari sponsorship.
Okay,
that's pretty.
And then I think then it's like
that's what Tyka's worth.
You know, okay, here's a good way to illustrate it. A really good example is, do you remember when you were like still kind of like a girl hating boy? That you were like, ew, girls. And then
Bart doesn't remember that. Look at him.
Like, what do you mean, girl?
Like when you were like, I just want to hang with the boys. I don't want any girls around. Girls are stupid. They're gross. I just want to do guy stuff, play games, right? And then the day that you finally like a girl or you start dating, you're like, how could I have imagined never having girls in my life?
Yeah, where it was like a boys only club. Yeah.
If you had avoided girls for the rest of your life, you might have been happy with all your toys and your boy stuff and your guy shit. Yeah. You might have, but then it's like you said, if you never knew, but then now that you do, there's absolutely no way you could just be a solo guy your whole life, never interacting with women. That's how I feel like now that this kid's on the way. I'm like, how did I ever think like, meh, kids are not, meh.
I don't think everyone's meant to be a parent though.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially some of these freaks.
Because there's so many people that then you see like, oh fuck my kids, man, I fucking don't want, and then they like bounce and shit, and like, so then but I hear from most people around me, they're like, oh, there's nothing like it. It's so amazing to have kids. It's like, it's tough, but it's so worth it. You know, I hear that a lot. And you have like dudes like my dad that's just like, oh fuck, I don't know what to do anymore.
Yeah.
But I actually don't think that he did not like us. I just think it was too much for him. So like, some guys are weak. They can't handle the responsibilities of doing everything, so they run, right?
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily like, fuck these kids.
Yeah.
It's like, I love these kids, but like, it's like, fuck these bills or whatever. Like, you know, like,
Yeah, it's more about everything that came with it, with parenting.
But there are fucked up people though. Like, you see, like, even like, because you would assume that women would never say that shit because they're supposed to be the mom that loves their kid no matter what. But you hear it all the time. They're like, I wish they weren't here. I'd be a fucking hoe still. I still go clubbing and shit. They robbed me of my childhood. I have fucking dreams.
Well, yeah, you're talking about the moms that leave their baby in the car to go in the club.
Oh.
We've seen so many articles throughout time, and we're like, whoa, yeah, there's a lot where that it came too soon for them.
What happened to their brains and experience to where they feel like, fuck, man, they fucking took this youth from me, man, my fucking best youth.
I think that's just unfulfillment. That's like if they just never did the things that they wanted to do, and then a kid kind of came first, and now you just can't live for yourself in that same way, right?
Or maybe like that's life giving them a lesson. And instead of stepping up to the plate to evolve and change, become the person they are, they're just bitter and still stuck in the past.
Like they're blaming the kids that they never fucking wrote that book they wanted to write, or they never like became a singer or whatever.
Yeah, before I would think like, yeah, not everyone's meant to be a kid, right? So you think like Mufasa is meant to be a dad. Scar seems like he'd be a horrible father, right?
He was in Lion King too.
But at the same time, I can see Scar having a kid and changing and becoming the best father if he stepped up and used that opportunity to.
Is that what happened in Lion King too?
No, he died off screen, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, wait. Yeah, he was already dead by Lion King too.
Well, you know
But he
what
was
broke
not a
my
good
heart
father.
is that I was watching this during the time I was studying psychology. Like I really got into like serial killers and things like that. So there was an interview of a guy who was a hitman for the mafia. And he goes, well, it was my passion. He goes, I love the work. Like I love killing. Like I did it for fun. And then he's openly talking, super calm, right? And he goes, I could kill everybody. I could kill my wife, right? And then
What the heck?
and then so like crazy, right? And then they go, would you ever? The interview goes, would you ever kill your children? They're like, no, never. And then so he got
And that's
so
love.
passionately angry. Like he went from calm to like, never, not even in a million years, I will kill for them. And then like, so I'm like, okay, even this absolute psychopath loves his children to death. And he would kill the world, but never his own children. He would kill his own wife, but never his own children. That's when I was like, whoa, there are some people that are like, maybe shouldn't be parents, but that love they have for their child is crazy for some people. Yeah.
But not for the wife who was half of those kids.
No, he's a nutcase. Yeah.
He's like, I'll kill my wife for my kids. Yeah. But then you have those other guys that just wipe their whole families out and themselves over some dumb shit.
Like, because they want to have an
just
affair.
happened in Ohio.
Yeah, it happens more often than people think. It's crazy.
That's why it's weird for me, because the experience sounds like so intense and profound for like so many people, where they're like, there's nothing like it. I love my children. I'll burn the world down for them, right? And then you have the opposite, where people are just like, whoops, was there a child there? I don't know. I don't care.
Whoops, was there a child there? That's why I think that, like, the idea of like when you have a kid, if you're pretty right with yourself by that point, you're not gonna have those feelings of like, I didn't get to do this, I didn't get to achieve that, I didn't get to travel the world and stuff. That's why I feel like, bro, like you'll probably be very similar to me, where when you like get that news and that sonogram and ultrasound, you're gonna feel like a whole chapter got unlocked in life that you previously were never gonna access, and you're like, oh, that's life. You're like, it's like the whole time you've just been like, what have I been doing this whole time? You know what I mean?
I think it unlocks when you embrace the idea of parenthood.
That's the biggest thing is embracing. There's so many people, I think they're like resistant to it and they're still trying to make like two worlds work. But you have to just go like, you know, like the point where like Spider-Man's like, I'm Spider-Man now. Right. Versus like, I'm a Peter Parker or Spider-Man. I still want to be a teenager or do I save the world? It's like that, right? It's like, you got to embrace, like, fuck it. Like my dreams don't fucking matter. I'm the parent. I think when you embrace it, then I also feel like anything that ever happened in your life, your wins and your losses, your ups and your downs, have 10 times more meaning. Because you're like, okay, that one time I was fucking embarrassed at my recital. That's the reason why that happened, because now I can help this kid go through embarrassment. You know?
Right, yeah.
Or else before you have a lot of like questionable things.
more
Like,
value to
yeah, like why the
everything you
fuck did that happen? Or why this happened or whatever. And then now you're like,
You get full circle.
yeah, you're like, I see why all that happened.
The reason why parenthood helps you grow so much is because you have to think so introspectively about yourself so that you can pass on things or make sure that you raise your kid the way you want. So I think that's why it just pushes you to grow no matter what.
That's why I think you're in a good spot to have a kid, because you don't live with a desperation to like do, you know what I mean? You've done so much shit already.
But I always wanted kids. I just was very cautious about like bringing them into the world with me. So it's more like I was like, if I was like a teenager having sex and shit, and I was like, yeah, if I get a girl pregnant, fuck it, that would be awesome. I fucking love kids, right?
I would
didn't give a
not
fuck.
recommend Gangster Joe having kids.
Exactly. So I knew what I was. I knew where I was. But so at the time, I was actually more like, well, if I get a girl pregnant, like I would actually want her to have an abortion. And then I was thinking about like, well, it's because personally, I actually really want to have kids. But I know that I would probably give this kid the worst fucking life.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So then in my mind, I was like, I can't step up. I know I'm going to fail.
Yeah.
So I don't want to create an extra kid that's going to jail and like being a threat to society.
Right.
And then like, it was always something like, as I got older, it's almost like, oh, well, I have anger problems and I don't want to do that to my kid. So fuck. And then next is like, well, I don't have enough money, so I don't think I have enough money to provide the best. I don't want to like raise them poor and shit like that. Yeah. So it was always this excuse, but I think I've never had this feeling of like, nah, I don't think I'm gonna do kids or whatever. It was like,
Just not right now.
I just hope I don't get anybody pregnant because I'm gonna fuck this up. That's what my mind was always.
Should have just stopped having sex.
But it's so good though.
Flow game's so good though.
But did you actually feel like you didn't want kids at one point? Because I want 20 children, bro. I just don't want to take care of them.
Hannah, get ready.
5 years ago, I didn't want kids. Wow. 5 years ago, because I thought I'm like, dude, I suck. I shouldn't have kids.
A lot changes.
That's just, and like my life is too crazy. I got this going on. I don't know.
But that means you wanted kids, but you weren't ready for it.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
the thing,
So same then, because I'm like, I love kids. I just knew that I would fuck it up.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. That's the thing. I didn't trust myself. Yeah. And then, like after some time, I'm like, oh, actually, yeah, it feels like a good time.
And that's what I didn't understand too, of like when people go, oh, because of you, I couldn't be a fucking superstar. I'm like,
yeah. Because of you, I couldn't.
Like there's so many people that work harder after they get kids. Yeah. Like all the stories of like, it fucking made me mature. Now I had to be a fucking superstar. And I'm like, damn, that's crazy.
Majority of like the previous generation had kids when they were, chasing their dreams and fulfilling them. Yeah.
I think people respond to pressure differently. Sometimes it crumbles, and sometimes it makes people rise. Mm-hmm. I don't handle pressure well.
So did you wait until like you felt like you were ready to have kids type of thing?
Yeah.
So you kind of knew, okay, in this phase of my life, not ready. This phase, not ready.
Yeah.
Okay, it's coming up. I think I'm going to be ready.
I really remember like just waking up and being like, I think I'm ready. I'm ready.
I think I'm pregnant.
Really? Because have you ever heard when people go like, you'll never be ready?
Someone saying that to me?
Yeah, people.
Oh, there's no like action.
Oh, I've heard that multiple times.
Well, when they say that, I think they're saying your mindset will never be ready, but your circumstance could be ready. But your mindset will never be ready because you're never experienced anything like it before.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah, like you could have all the money in the world, all the nannies, all the family, everything. You could be double, quadruple retired, and you're like, I'm gonna give 24 hours a day to the baby. Once the baby comes, you're not gonna be ready. You could be a fucking Navy SEAL, astronaut, it doesn't matter. You're not gonna be ready.
Yeah.
Because it's for the first time, there's something that's without your involvement, it can die the next hour, next minute. So you'll, no matter what, you'll never be ready. But that's more of the mindset, not so much the circumstance.
I would have been ready 20 years ago with $5 million in my bank account and anger management classes. That's when I would have been ready.
And that's the goal.
I should have done that. I would have had 20 kids by now.
Damn, dude.
One every year from 20 years old.
One every 9.5 months.
Dude.
I think you're going to be a good dad.
Thank you.
Yeah, me
thank
too.
you.
Yeah, you will.
I think you'd be hella hype.
Because I won't be dadding.
You won't be what?